even when life tells you, sit down, or, you can't, you got to take a break. Like, I believe in self-care, right? And taking breaks and taking rest, but there's a lot of times I push through all of that, bro. When I'm like, even when I don't feel well, sometimes my feet are a little swollen and they're throbbing because I've been in my chair for 20 hours and I was traveling and air flight and jet lag and all of this stuff. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I gotta keep. But again, I think that's that New York clock in me. Like, that New York hustle is like that 24/7 grind, grind, go, go, go type of
Yeah.
lifestyle in New York. And I think that's, having that built in me from being born there is what helps me, like, do what I do now. Like, there's so many people like, yo, bro, I don't know how you do what you do and everything you do, like, and you do it from a wheelchair, like, with all the, struggles and challenges that you have to experience and go through, and you still, like, out there killing it. And I'm like, yeah, it's through the grace of God, man, that I'm able to do what I do. But I think that God allowed me to be born in New York and allowed me to have that grit and that grind and the family dynamic that I came from. That's like, you know what? There's so much that people don't that people still don't know about me and my background in my childhood
Yeah.
that could have broken so many people. And I was fortunate enough to be able to push through that and overcome that and still become the man that I am today. It is pretty remarkable, bro. It's a remarkable. Like, I want to do a documentary on my life. That's how powerful of a story I think I have. I mean, I think we all have powerful stories, but I mean, the stuff that I've been through and gone through and experienced, it's like it could definitely be like a Netflix, one of them Netflix documentaries
Yeah,
that.
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, man, I would
Yeah.
love it. But, eventually one day I'm gonna do it because it's on my bucket list. But I got to get to that point where I have the time and the resources to be able to invest in that. But it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. Trust me, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, just one step at a time, you know?
Yeah, man.
So, what is a question you wish more people asked you, but they don't?
How's my sex life, man?
I love it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know that's like a question mark on a lot of people's heads. Like, yo, how does this dude keep that type of wife? And like, how's their sex life like? You know what I mean? And we have an amazing sex life, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely it's definitely,
Love it.
my equipment definitely still functions, you know what I mean? And it's like, just, because people have
That
that image in their
curiosity.
head, like, oh, if you're in a wheelchair, then you're damaged goods, like you don't work properly. And I'm like, no, I'm far from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not paralyzed. A lot of people think because I have SMA, I'm in a wheelchair, they think I'm paralyzed. I'm like, I'm not paralyzed. I can still feel and move everything, and everything still works, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. I mean, my wife and I, we have an amazing intimate life, and that's again one of the things that it's not like I can do traditional moves and stuff like that, like a regular able-bodied man can do. But trust me, we get real creative, bro, and we have a lot of fun with it, bro. So you see, it's one of those topics that's uncomfortable for people because people are like, they don't really want to touch that. But I'm like, hey, I don't care, bro.
No, I love it because it's raw, you're honest, you can tell you're very humble and you have a great sense of humor, which I think is incredibly important. That was a perfect answer. That was funny. So,
Thanks.
for someone listening who feels overwhelmed in their circumstances right now, what advice do you have for them?
You know, one of the ways you can get unstuck is to just start combating the thoughts that you're having. Like, what are the thoughts that you're having that are making you feel stuck? Right? So I just start asking questions like, why are you feeling stuck? And then whatever their answers are, like, well, why are you feeling that? And I just keep asking why. That's what coaching is. When you people go hire coaches, it's like you already know the answer. I don't
Right.
know, Victor, what you're thinking about deep down inside, but guess who knows? You do.
Right.
So in order for me to be able to help you, I just got to keep asking you the right questions.
It's so true.
What are
So,
you
so
going
true.
through? All right, well, why are you going through that? Okay, well, how can you overcome that? Okay, well, what do you think your next step is going to be? Okay, well, who do you think you need to reach out to?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your next play going to be? Like, are you going to continue with the being stuck and being complacent and being depressed? And are you going to let that control your life, or do you want to take control of your life?
Right.
And just asking those questions, and little by little, you start chipping away. You start getting to the root of the issue, and they're like, "Oh, wow, I never thought of that." But meanwhile, it was inside you the whole time.
Right. And it's so so powerful too because like you said, like whenever someone comes across a problem or something they can't quite understand why they keep experiencing certain things, you know, so obviously there's things that are far beyond our control, but there are a lot of things that are within our control, like our attitude and the way we perceive and looking towards life. But if you can literally just ask yourself, okay, what's the problem? Okay, well, what am I doing with the problem? And you begin to ask yourself, like you said, better questions, you come up with better answers. That was perfect. I
Absolutely.
know, I know we're cutting towards the end of the episode here. So I want to ask you a few engaging rapid fire questions. So you can try to answer. I try to keep it entertaining and a little bit fun, a little bit as much as possible. So you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Okay, let's do it. So if your life had a theme song, what kind of song would it be?
If my life had a theme song, what song would it be?
Yeah.
Um, right now, my favorite song is Stay Strong by Danny Goki.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really I love my favorite one of his is haven't seen it yet. That's a powerful
But
one.
this is a nice one too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
what is a quote you love?
One of the quotes I love is from my mentor, from Les Brown. He's always saying, um, it's no, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said, it's one of his famous ones where he's like, shoot for the moon because even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars.
I love it. I love it. What is the first word that comes to mind when you hear the word failure?
Overcomer,
If your younger self could see you today, what would shock them the most?
the person who I become.
I love it. What is one excuse people use that you absolutely do not accept?
I was too busy to get back to you.
Who are you becoming?
A better version of myself.
I love it. Bro, brother, this has been a great and phenomenal episode. I really, really appreciate you for being here. So how and where can people find you? Let people know where they can find you on social media, let people know about your projects, anything and everything about you.
Yeah, man. So people, it's real simple. You can find me on any platform, and my website is at Jose Inspires. My website is joseinspires.com, and it's on everything, literally. Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything is at Jose Inspires. And my website is joseinspires.com. Another thing is you mentioned earlier, my wife and I did just write a children's book. It's called Adventures with the Hair in the Chair, because everybody always remembers my wife as the woman with the bright red hair,
Yeah.
and her husband's the guy in a wheelchair. So we were like, you know what, the hair in the chair. We thought it was catchy, and that's doing very well right now. And we wanted to write that book because we believe that every child deserves to be the hero in their own story, and I wanted to be a represent. I wanted it to be a representation of who I am, but who so many other kids are as well. Just because we have to live life in a wheelchair doesn't mean that this wheelchair defines us. It doesn't mean that this wheelchair has to defeat us, and it doesn't mean that this wheelchair has to dictate what our destiny looks like. And so that's one of the reasons why we wanted to write this children's book, because we wanted to be able to impact the next generation of dreamers and believers and go-getters, no matter what their abilities are. And we wanted to be able to have that ability to spark these difficult conversations in the household with kids who are in wheelchairs and that do have different disabilities, and kids that don't have disabilities. We wanted to be able to give them the opportunity to understand us more and understand some of the things that we have to go through, and that we're just the same. We just have to do things a little differently. And so that's doing great right now. It also became not a number one bestseller. It was number three on the bestseller list. So we did make the top three, which was good.
Wow.
We were shooting for number one, but anything can change, because with Amazon it can change at any moment. But we did make the top three, and then we also have a marriage book and a curriculum coming down the pipeline. That one is going to be absolutely amazing. It's called What Real Love Looks Like: How to Have It All Even When You Don't Have It All. And that one is going to be groundbreaking. There's so many breakthroughs that are going to happen through that book. And we wrote that book because we know how difficult marriage can be in general, whether you're disabled or not. But if you couple in the disability and the caregiving aspect, that just adds another layer of challenge and struggle sometimes. And if my wife and I are able to get through all of that and we can not only survive but thrive in marriage, then we know what we're doing. Basically, we know we've already stood the test of time. We're hitting the 19-year mark this year. That's pretty impressive considering we live in a world that doesn't really value commitment and loyalty, and honor of one another in the marriage covenant of husband and wife. And so we wanted to be able to go out there and share what a healthy family dynamic looks like and what real love looks like, because we feel like there's so many broken families. I come from a broken home. My wife comes from a broken home. Our parents come from broken homes. So, and then our kids technically come from a broken home because our first relationship with their parent, with their other parent didn't work. But we try to make sure that when we got together, we were going to show them what a healthy marriage and relationship looked like. And so that's why we wrote that book. That's going to be launching very, very soon this year. We're looking at April time frame. So be on the lookout for that because it's a book, a workbook, and a journal combo. So, we're
Wow.
gonna go ahead and flood the marketplace and hopefully help some marriages get back on track.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on all your accolades, all your successes. Congratulations on your guys' anniversary as well. That is
Thank you, man.
amazing. That is amazing, brother. Now, one last thing for you is you said ask and you shall receive. What do you think are the chances of you getting me in contact with Les Brown?